Hey everybody, you know that feeling when anxiety shows up and you can't shake it, or when you're stuck in a loop of negative thoughts? Yeah, we've all been there. These distortions are like funhouse mirrors, twisting reality and making us believe things that aren't true. But here's the good news. We don't have to let these distortions run the show. So let's dive in and explore 10 common cognitive distortions and how to overcome them. This distortion is the queen of extremes. It's all about black and white thinking with no shades of grey in between. You're either a raging success or a complete failure. All or nothing thinking tells you you've blown it completely, so give up on your goals. Instead of striving for perfection, focus on progress. Remember, life is a marathon, not a sprint. Overgeneralization is like that friend who always jumps to the worst possible conclusion. It's taking one incident and turning it into a never-ending pattern of defeat. Overgeneralization might whisper, "See, you're never going to get hired." Challenge those negative thoughts by looking for evidence to the contrary. Remind yourself that setbacks are normal and don't define your worth or potential. Imagine wearing glasses that only let in negative information. You focus solely on the negative aspects, ignoring the good stuff. To overcome this, practice balanced thinking. Keep a gratitude journal to shift your focus to the good. Have you ever had a great accomplishment, but instead of celebrating it, you downplayed it as no big deal? That's discounting the positive. It's like rejecting a compliment. Start noticing how often you minimize your successes. Give yourself permission to own your accomplishments. This distortion is all about mind reading and fortune telling, neither of which are helpful skills. It's assuming you know what others are thinking or predicting the future without real evidence. Instead of jumping to conclusions, communicate openly and directly. Remember, communication is key, and assuming the worst rarely leads to a positive outcome. Magnification is like using a magnifying glass to blow things out of proportion, while minimization shrinks things to make them seem insignificant. To challenge these distortions, practice putting things in perspective. Ask yourself, is this situation really as bad as it seems? What's the most likely outcome? Remember, things aren't usually as dire or insignificant as they seem. Ever let your emotions dictate your reality? That's emotional reasoning in a nutshell. Believing that because you feel a certain way, it must be true. To combat it, observe your emotions without judgment. Remember, you're not your emotions, and you can choose how to respond. Should statements are the ultimate guilt trippers. They're all about rigid rules and expectations we impose on ourselves and others. Challenge this distortion by replacing shoulds with realistic and flexible expectations. Remember, it's okay to be kind to yourself and allow flexibility in your life. Labeling is like using a permanent marker to define ourselves and others. Instead of focusing on behaviors, we slap on a label and call it a day. To challenge this distortion, be mindful of the language you use. Remember, people are complex and can't be summed up in a single word. Personalization is like taking on the weight of the world and putting it all on your own shoulders. It's assuming responsibility for things outside your control. To challenge these distortions, set healthy boundaries. Focus on what you can control and let go of the rest. Look, rewiring our thinking isn't about becoming relentlessly positive or denying the existence of challenges. It's about approaching our thoughts and emotions with self-awareness, compassion, and challenging unhelpful thinking patterns that keep us stuck. By embracing the mind-body connection and addressing cognitive distortions, we can build resilience against stress and enhance our overall well-being. For more information, contact www.roxannedaleo.com.